With millions of YouTube channels, lovers of the weird, wacky, and what the choose Talks a Lot Entertainment. This is Dick's News International. Hello, and welcome to Dick's News International. Before we begin, an inspirational quote. Fish a you man give for day. Him you feed if. Fish to man a teach feed for lifetime. Him you. Thank you. Yeah, I found that random shit just chilling on Reddit, just sitting there waiting for somebody to screenshot it like they don't like you to do. I'm a rule breaker. What can I say? Hi, everybody, and welcome to Dick's News International. Yeah, today we're talking about Chiraq, dogs, more dogs, and biting, but not from the dogs. Yeah. Let's say hello to the chat, shall we? He says, Vince Womack. There's Vince Womack. Yes. Hey, Vince Womack. Greetings and salutations. That's what I meant to say. Yes, and he says, wiser words. Indeed. Massgrave. AI, Corey. Good evening, fellow humans. Hi, Massgrave. Even wise, I would say. Indeed, very wise. Hail to Radioactive. What's up, buddy? Yeah. This is going to be a fun night. Fun times. And I even have a serious article to talk about later on in the show because, it's pretty disturbing. But we'll get there. Yeah. If you're new here, I'm Corey, by the way, in case you can't see that down there. Yep. But I am the host of Talks a Lot Entertainment occasionally when I actually do it. Aha! Yes. Howdy and hail to Keck 44. Howdy, partner. It's wonderful to have you here. It's great to be back on the Dick's News International. And of course, Chiraq is not an international story per se, but it does mention Iraq. So, I'll let it slide. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keck44 says, still getting used to clean-cut Corey. Me too. Honestly, I am. But I'm not completely clean-cut. I still got my hair. It just pissing me off, so I be needed down. Yep. Anyone who's ever had long hair will tell you there are certain points where you're just like, I want to shave my damn head and never see hair again. And then you put it in a ponytail or you put a hat on and you just suck it up a deal. Now, of course, the Chiraq story that I'm about to talk about is not new, okay? This is a story from 2015, but when it resurfaced, I had to once again just shake my head and facepalm a little bit. Oh, yes, I was recently a guest on Christian Delorme's stream about Rush. Go check that out. Christian Delorme's Vinyl Revival or Saves the Vinyls or something like that. I don't know. Not even once. Nope. Meth is bad. But like I can't help but I've seen some journalists in my days that just really missed the point. Yeah, Christian Delorme's Vinyl Revival. Spelled with a Y in Revival. Go check it out. Make sure you subscribe. He's a good guy. And it was a lot of fun. But I just want to point, I know it's from 2015. It's fucking forever ago by today's standards. But data shows Chicago is not even close to Iraq. Well, first of all, Chuck Gowdy. I know this is old, but I still have to say this. No fucking shit, bro. First of all, they're on opposite ends of the world. Second of all, one's a third world country and the other one is in the Middle East. Wait, did I? Yeah, I think that's right. But anyway, moving on to more pressing matters. geographically, yeah, exactly. They're nowhere near each other. Like, that guy should have gotten a no shit award. Just saying. I had to poke fun at him. When that thing resurfaced, I had to just throw it back out there. There's a lot of people who haven't seen that. That somebody actually went through and was like, well, actually. And it's like, well, fucking crazy bitch. Damn. But before we move on, there we go. Yes, that is correct. One is a third world country and the other one is in the Middle East. Yes, see, I knew I was right. I mean, it's not as bad as it's not as bad of a third world country as say Detroit, but it's still Chicago. Just saying, you get whacked just showing up there. So there's no point going to Chicago. Okay, don't ever go to Chicago. And a lot of people hate me for that. Did you know that Sydney, Australia, has a KFC nightclub? Yeah, I should have saved that video. That just popped into my head. But Sydney, Australia has a KFC nightclub. It's an actual nightclub with alcohol and all kinds of crazy shit in Sydney, Australia, owned and operated by KFC. Anyway, at least he was correct. Unlike Dem's senator who claimed an island would tip over if too many people got there. Yeah, that's fair. I can't argue with that at all. Lots of dancing chicks. Yeah, I bet. But can you get coleslaw? Perhaps. Perhaps not. Depends on the type of coleslaw that you want. Do you think they have coleslaw in Iraq? I don't think they have coleslaw in Iraq, but they might. Who knows? Anyway, our next story is kind of shitty. Italian province orders all dogs to be DNA tested in poo crackdown. See, San Francisco, if you did this with the people, you would not only be able to stop them from shitting in the streets, yuck, yuck, but you'd also have a database of everybody's DNA because you know that they would just willingly give it to you. You guys are looking for that shit anyway, so two birds, one stone. But anyway, owners in Bolzano, northern Italy, must pay $65 for the test, which police can use to search for dog muck culprits. Dog muck culprits. This, by the way, is written by Angela Giuffrida in Rome. Rome. Mamma mia! Dog owners in Bolzano must submit their pets to DNA testing as authorities in northern Italian province crack down on the scourge of dog poo in the streets. Damn. Vince says there's DNA in poop? I don't know, bro. Honestly, I never really looked that deeply into the genetic makeup of poop. But I would assume there is. Especially with dogs. They eat all kinds of shit that could tear their intestines up and shit. I mean, I would just assume that there is, in fact, DNA in poop. Anyway, yes, Poopa has DNA. Wahoo! Anyway, swab test results will be inserted into a database which police can then refer to in their search for culprits and their owners. The evidence will be used to find the owners between 292 euros. I think that's a euro. Yeah, that's a euro. And 1,048 euros. 250 pounds and 900 pounds. Maybe that's not a euro. Is that Italian money? I don't know what the fuck they use over there. What can I say? I don't know. I have no fucking clue. Wow, I forgot to silence my phone. What can I say? Jeez. Anyway, Dick's Division people. Just texting and stuff. Gosh. Yeah, I kind of figured. Vince Womack, he says correct. Euro. Yes. I am an airhead. Not to be confused with the awesome movie that Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, and what's his fuck did. Anyway, wow. The law required the estimated 45,000 dogs in the province located in the mountainous Trentino Alto Adige region to undergo a DNA test at the veterinary clinic by the end of December 2023, before the initiative is introduced this month. Only 5,000 have complied. You mean there's 40,000 people out there who went, fuck you? Vaffanculo, cazzo stranzo! I'm not bringing my dog in to be tested for his poop, so you can charge me more money. Mamma mia. Anyway. Yeah, the measure has been contentious. No shit. $65 times 45,000. That sounds maybe, just maybe, like a revenue enhancement scheme to me. But the fact that the police and these people are like, hey, yeah, you all have no choice but to bring your dogs in, and we will test their poop for DNA. Or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. The Italians have learned from their history. Somewhat. Yeah, clearly. Here it says Arnold Schuler, a provincial councillor, said that the database was still in the implementation phase. Sorry, it said Arnold. I had no choice. And the additional vets had been found to help carry out the DNA tests. In this way, we are making it easier for everyone to get their pet registered. I once again, if I were an Italian citizen, would simply say vaffanculo. Yep. Fuck off. Gosh. Many people who don't have dogs signed the petition, but they did not. Yeah. No shit. Ha 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 ha. Punny. That's funny. Oh. Anyway, he says mac and cheese. Can't remember the last time I had some. Jealous. I like mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is delicious. Anyway, for a story about dogs that's a little less shitty, dog meat production and sales will soon become illegal in South Korea. Ha ha ha. Then you shouldn't put it in the chat, homie. Responding to sis on phone. Not. Yeah. Whatever. I don't believe you. He's just being strange for the sake of being strange, ladies and gentlemen, because Keck 44 is weird. Unless, of course, he's using some kind of speech-to-text typing thing, and then it makes a lot more sense. Just saying. Anyway, from Seoul, South Korea. South Korea's parliament on Tuesday passed a landmark ban on the production and sales of dog meat, as public calls for a prohibition have grown sharply over concerns about animal rights and the country's international image. Well, most of the world does actually see dogs as pets, not as food. Unless, of course, it's like some post-apocalyptic thing, then fuck it, eat what you can. Anyway, some angry dog farmers said that they plan to challenge the bill's constitutionality and hold protest rallies, a sign of continued heated debate over the ban. Wow, they're really getting heated over this dog meat. Wow. After a 3-year grace period, the bill would make slaughtering, breeding, and sales of dog meat for human consumption illegal from 2027 and punishable by 2 to 3 years in prison. It doesn't provide any penalties for eating dog meat. So it's kind of like cannibalism here in the United States. It's legal, you just can't get the meat. Check out your local laws to see if cannibalism is legal near you. Not that you want to engage in it, but you'd be shocked at what's actually allowed under the law. Anyway. Dog meat consumption, a centuries-old practice on the Korean Peninsula, is neither explicitly banned nor legalized in South Korea. It has long been viewed as a source of stamina, stamina on hot summer days. Recent surveys show more than half of South Koreans want dog meat banned, and a majority no longer eat it. But 1 in every 3 South Koreans still opposes the ban, even though they don't consume it. Wow. The National Assembly passed the bill by a 208-0 vote. It will soon become law after being endorsed by the Cabinet Council and signed by President Yoon Suk. You suck, Yul. I don't know. You suck, Yul? Yoon Suk Yul? Considered formalities since his government supports the ban. This law is aimed at contributing to realizing the values of animal rights, which pursue respect for life and a harmonious coexistence between humans and animals, unlike in Italy, where they apparently shit everywhere. Anyway, the bill offers assistance to dog farmers and others in the industry in shutting down their business and shifting to alternatives. Details are being worked out among the government officials, farmers, experts, and animal rights activists. To a previous point, we go back to Keg44. He says, I'm just a doofus. Not a weirdo, mostly. I'm a weirdo. Just not a creep. That's not what I meant to click on. Socialist cow, never mind. They're basically the same thing. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, let's see. This seems like a good time to do a poll and to check on the Rumble chat. Click. Dog meat. Not poll. Need do poll. Need do poll. Start poll. Yes. Dog meat ban good. And I crashed my internet. Never mind. There's one of the polls for tonight. Dog meat ban good. Yes, I agree. Well said. The one person who... 0 votes. Now it's not counting votes. It's a Dominion machine. This just in, YouTube uses Dominion to manage their chat, apparently, and their polls on the thing. Gosh. Over on the Rumble side, we do have Vince Womack saying, I'm Ronry, so Ronry, so Ronry and sad. Ooh, someone said no. Ooh, and now they're fighting. Now they're fighting it out. Man, did you see that exchange of blows between the yes and the no's? It was crazy. You mean emergency food? Well, I mean, dog meat as emergency food. As I said earlier, if it's between that and starvation, I'm eating that damn dog. Luckily, I live in a place that has a lot of wildlife. Yeah. Pets. Yes, pets. Emergency food is another name for pets. Yes, you are correct. But anyway. Oh, you're going to upset some people with that there, Musgrave. That's fine, though. Nobody should really give a shit. We've got 6 votes saying that the dog meat ban is good. And, well, 67% of those votes. Goodness gracious. Small time Republic. Hail, sir. He says, I was the no vote. Meat is meat. Yes, indeed. Government should stay out of our business altogether. I agree. But, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, they're here to stay. Yes. Goodness gracious. Like, seriously, I personally think it's a good thing that they're banning dog meat in South Korea. But I will not argue with the emergency foodstuffs. You know what I mean? Will not argue with that. And now on to something a little bit more Japanese. That's right, an American passenger bites a flight attendant and forces the plane to return to Tokyo. Goodness gracious. This was apparently written by 1, 2, 3, 4 different people because CNN needs 4 people to write a 1-minute article. In the name of goodness. I wonder which one is the translator. Probably this guy. Right here. And then this lady just made it proper English. But whatever. Francesca Anio. Oh. Like, seriously, Americans are just a plague on the world. Goodness gracious. Look at this. Let the market handle itself. Most people are already not buying it, so production will decrease. This is true. This is true. You're not wrong. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. So CNN Tokyo here. Wow. Not really. It's just Tokyo. Anyway, an American airline passenger allegedly bit a female cabin crew member mid-flight on Tuesday, forcing all Nippon Airways, or ANA, flight bound for Seattle to return to Tokyo. Wow. Flight ANA 118 departed Tokyo's Haneda Airport at 9:47 p.m. local time and turned around a little over an hour into its journey. Wow. Wow. Doesn't take long, does it? The spokesperson told CNN the male passenger was detained by police after the plane landed in the Japanese capital. They did not name him. Yeah, bro, you're supposed to limit the biting to the females in the red light district who actually allow you to do that. Okay. Yeah, see, Vince Womack says, the passenger just misunderstood Nippon Airlines. I mean, yeah, maybe he was just like, oh, so I'm allowed to bite people. Yummy. Biting some dirty-ass flight attendant. Blech. Got chlamydia in my mouth now. Anyway, the female flight attendant sustained minor injuries, the spokesperson said. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department declined to provide further details on the case. No shit. It's not the first case of an alleged mid-air biting. In 2022, 2 passengers were given hefty fines for hitting and biting crew and other passengers on the flights, on separate flights. Wow. With U.S. carriers, American Airlines, and Delta Airlines. So, ladies and gentlemen, moral of this story is if you don't want to get bit by anyone, especially if you are a flight attendant of some kind or stewardess, male or female stewardess, then maybe avoid American Airlines. And, because this is this is apparently a thing. It's just a thing. And no mention of where he bit her. Well, considering Japanese censorship is weird, we may never know. Mostly because I probably won't come back to do a follow-up of this story. Anyway, so apparently they were fined $81,950 and $77,272 respectively, the 2 largest penalties ever levied by Federal Aviation Administration against individual passengers. Wow. Crazy. YouTube's not allowing Keg44's chats to go through. Son of a bitch. YouTube really does like screwing people, don't they? Do I need to approve these? No, because I have a moderator that would do that if that were the case. Let's end the poll. Thank you, YouTube. Use a boob. Seriously. Several incidents have been reported this month of bad behavior and aggression from passengers, including American Airlines flight that was diverted to Texas airport on January 3rd after a passenger allegedly punched a flight attendant and assaulted at least one police officer. Seriously, don't fly American Airlines, ladies and gentlemen. Are you a psychopath who loves to travel? Then take American Airlines and beat the shit out of a flight attendant. What the fuck? They need to start arming the flight attendants with like trank guns full of like ketamine or some shit. So when people are all like, they go by a pew, and they'd be like, bro, like seriously, that'd be great. I mean, shit. American Airlines training now comes with mandatory self-defense classes. Comments about dog processing. Vince Womack says Delta or Spirit or just get a private plane. Yeah, and if you're homeless, just buy a house. Gosh, Vince, how out of touch with reality are you? JK, LOL. Oh my gosh. Anyway, like, what is wrong with American Airlines and getting their entire people just like travel expert explains the unspoken rights for every plane seat. Right. Problem solved. Yep. And we just solved homelessness because, much like Jennifer Lawrence, I did it first. Anyway. So this is the more serious article that I wanted to talk about tonight. And I'm just going to preface this with I am, in fact, a Christian. But, like, there's some crazy shit going on in China. Online pastor in China's Dalian gets 14 years for superstition. Kan Xiaoyang, his wife, and 4 members are jailed. The unofficial church had gained a wide following. Yeah, crazy. So check this out. A court in northeastern China city... A court in the northeastern Chinese city of Dalian has jailed a prominent online Protestant pastor for 14 years after finding him and 5 church members guilty of using superstition to undermine the law. Radio Free Asia, by the way, RFA. Continuing on, Dalian's Ganjingji district People's Court found Kan and his wife Wang and church members Chu Jinyu Zhao. I'm not even going to try to read those, honestly. Guilty on the charge on January 12th. A person familiar with the case who asked to remain anonymous for fear of reprisals from, told RFA Mandarin. Keck 44 says only Xi worship allowed, pending on Tube approval. I hate you, YouTube, because you are a censor-driven douchebag. But anyway, Ken, who is in his 60s, was jailed for 14 years after a deal was struck between prosecution and defense, while Wang was sent to prison for 4 years. Wow. Small Time Republic says his wife Wang sounds like Obama. Michael wouldn't appreciate that, but Vince did. Big Mike Obama. Anyway, man, 14 and 4 for practicing your religion, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to say, the Bible said this was going to happen. Just saying. Anyway, when he was arrested, they thought he would get more than 20 years in prison. But after strong resistance from his lawyers, the authorities compromised and lowered the sentence appropriately from more than 20 to 14 years. God bless America. That was not the last time I'm going to say that while we're doing this. The prosecution started out asking for the wife to get 15 to 18 years, but she wound up getting 4, the person said. They actually all got sentences below the minimum. More than 25% off. Yep. They actually got below the minimum. Below the minimum. Hey, China, fuck you. Anyway, church members and volunteer workers Chu, Zhao, and Zhang and Liang Dongji received prison terms ranging from 3 to 10 years. It may seem that the defense was a success, but actually none of them is guilty. No shit. None of them are guilty. You fucks. Ugh. Can came to the attention of the authorities after he and Wang went to live in Dalian from their home city of Wuhan in 2018. Live. I don't know why I said live. My brain broke on that. They went to live in Dalian instead of Wuhan in 2018. You think they knew? You think they knew? Anyway, secularism prevails. Man. Setting up online preaching platform called Home Discipleship Network, or HDN, as I would imagine them abbreviating it. Anyway, they were initially arrested by Dalian police along with the 4 church members in October of 2021. Unofficial church. Huge influence. Vince Womack says it would have been kind of helpful if they quoted the law that they apparently broke. Right? Allegedly broke. Yes. I agree. But it's China. They do whatever they want. They don't care. You understand? No Chinese Christians allowed. No. It's bad. His sermons garnered large numbers of followers among Chinese Christians. Firstly, it's a house church, not registered with the government. And secondly, this pastor's online sermons had a huge influence on people, and he has a very good reputation, the person says. That's why they had to crack down on him. China has to stop good people from turning other Chinese people into good people. Because they have to be slaves to the state. Otherwise, they are not people. If they do not belong to the Chinese state, then they are not people. Anyway, this is a little more political than we usually get in it. Vince Womack says, good reputation, but low credit score. Yes, their social credit score is now negative 14 million. Because that's how long 14 years, that's how much you gain in 14 years' time. If you're a model citizen, and stop praying to that silly invisible man in the sky. Fucking China, bro. I hate China. I'm just saying. I'm just going to say it right now. They're a plague. That entire government is a fucking horrible, nightmarish plague. And it has been for a really long time. And honestly, even on just looking at it from let's look at it from an environmental stance. China sucks. Let's look at it from an economic stance. China sucks. Let's look at it from a personal freedom stance. That's right. China sucks. And their manufactured goods aren't any better. Just saying. He said online preachers are highly likely to be accused of running cults and peddling superstition. Both Can Wang, told the court that they were tortured by police in Dalian, not surprised, who wanted them to confess to the charges against them. During interrogation, a police officer took off their leather shoe and hit Zhao Yang on the head with it and punched him. They made Wang Fengying kneel on the ground and kicked her in the thighs. Everyone was tortured for 2 or 3 hours, and this was stated orally by the parties involved in court. There was no official refutation of the account as rumor. That's because it's not a rumor. China loves torturing people. They always have. Gosh. Massgrave says, why would you say such bad things about our bugmen overlords? Because China sucks. The CCP is a piece of shit. Along with every other socialist government that exists. Socialist. Communist is what it actually is. Communist. That's right. I'm sorry. I don't want to lose too many social credit score points tonight. Zhu Yonghai, an elder of a house church in Beijing, said many of the more popular Protestant churches have been forced to fragment in recent years under pressure from the assfuckers. A lot of churches can only meet if they divide themselves into dozens of small groups. Underground gatherings are now just family gatherings. Where 2 or more of you gather in his name, there so shall he be. So there shall he be. Yeah. Just saying. We are now back to the 1980s and early 1990s. Yeah, well, we're in the 60s, so welcome to it. Let's see if YouTube bends the knee. Look up Tiananmen Square. Yeah, look up Tiananmen Square. Hi, YouTube. Assholes. They're an Indian company, and India hates China right now, from what I can tell. So why don't they just, let me talk shit about China? You guys are assholes. Minus 20 credit scores points, Corey. Excessive use of the word I. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I will try to do better in the future, because I am a terrible member of the Communist Party. Which socialist or communist government is worse at this point? China's or the USA's? China's simply for the fact that they're allowed to freely violate rights. And right now, the United States still has slight checks and balances in place. So I'll still say China's worse right now, but give it a few years and we'll be on the same level. Just saying. Gosh. The Chinese government under Communist Party leader Xi Buttfuck Jinping regards Christianity as a dangerous foreign import, with a party documents warning against the infiltration of Western hostile forces in the form of religion. Xi Jinping is the only God you need. You are fined 1 credit for violation of verbal morality statute. Indeed. Anyway, it was recently reported that a Chinese billionaire secretly purchased 200,000 acres in Oregon 9 years ago. Ginny the Pooh! Keep your communism off my country, you damn dirty bastards. Anyway. But fuck Jinping. Anyway, the party, which embraces atheism, that's not entirely true, because the state is their god, and therefore you are not atheistic. You have a belief in a higher structure, which is your government. Exercises tight control over any form of religious practice among its citizens because they're cocksuckers. Anyway, churches are allowed to function if they are part of the government-backed 3 Self-Patriotic Association. The 3 selves refer to self-governance, self-support, and self-propagation. Essentially rejecting any foreign influence, and the patriotic refers to loyalty to the Chinese government. Oh boy. I have some crazy news for you people. I just gotta say, all forms of government are bad. Okay? All right, good talk. Good talk. Good talk. Good talk. State security police and religious affairs bureau officials frequently raid unofficial house churches, although member churches have also been targeted at times. China is home to an estimated 68 million Protestants, of whom 23 million worship in state affiliated Three Self churches, and some 9 million Catholics, the majority of whom are in state sponsored organizations, which means they're Catholics who, instead of worshiping the crucifix or Mary or whatever it is that they bow down to, they now bow down to the effigy of Xi Buttfuck Jinping. Worship that shit instead. Yeah, that's great. That's great. The authorities last year rolled out a database of approved religious leaders in a nationwide clampdown on who gets to practice religion and how. Oh, thank you, Louisetta Moody and Malcolm Foster, for making that English and bringing it to us. So, self for the state. Yes, that's literally what that means. Self for the state. It's no secret at any point that this is how China is. It's always been like this, and that's not a good thing, because they've gained too much power to not get a fucking reality check. They should have gotten reality checks decades ago. Honestly, right after World War II or around certain areas, we should have probably just put our boot in their ass to make sure they never fucking stood up. But I am, by all rights, an isolationist when it comes to any type of foreign policy, and I fucking hate China and what they did to American production. Just saying. Keck44 says, cult of personalityism is fully endorsed by China. Yes, they are. They are. I'm going to get religious here for a second and just say, if you're a Christian and you're living in one of these places, then you have to be comfortable with the fact that the persecution that the Bible told you were going to face is coming at you, especially if you're in a place like China or anywhere in the Middle East where they don't really like Christians very much. And I use that to describe Jewish people as well as Muslims. And you can talk about how they're treated in India. Christians are not liked around the world because they try to spread a more logical understanding of God as compared to some of these, self for the state people. And my prayers are definitely going to be focused on these individuals, at least a little bit, because they need to be able to practice their religion freely. I mean, as an American, given that's one of the many things that this country was founded upon, not the sole thing, like some people say, but it was there. You have to, you kind of need it. You need freedom. I don't care what you want to practice as your religion, as long as it's not the religion of fucking little boys or fucking little kids and beating up old ladies or some shit. Because, I'm not big on the Kyleisms. You know what I mean? Or whatever you want. What do we want to call those now? The Hanksisms, fucking little boys, and let's see, beating up chicks. That's gonna be an Ezraism, a Millerism. That actually rolls right off the tongue. Ezra Millerism. Beating up women. Anyway, Radioactive says sub-Saharan Africa is also dangerous for Christians. Yes, there are actually very few places that it is safe for Christians to exist. The United States is becoming less and less safe for anybody to live. But beyond that, if you have certain political or religious connotations within your belief systems, you're fucked. you're absolutely fucked, especially if you're an individual who just wants to be left the fuck alone. K44 says Hollywoodisms. Yes, Hollywoodisms is a good way to put that. And that's one of the reasons they're removing so much religious content from movies and stuff. Unless it's, of course, using the Lord's name in vain. And then they're totally fine with it. That's the only truly acceptable religious thing for them. And that should tell a lot of people a lot of stuff about Hollywood. Gosh, I'm so thirsty all the time. It's ridiculous. But China is a fucking terrible place to be if you're just a human being. I mean, we saw what they did to the Muslims, the Uyghur Muslims. We saw what they did to these peacefully existing Christians, Protestants over there. Let's be totally honest. Human rights violations, as seen before the International Criminal Court or whatever, maybe China should be brought up on 40 billion fucking charges. Just saying, just the hints in the name talks a lot equals thirsty. Well, I mean, I am a long-winded individual and I'll just talk about whatever, but I guess that could dry my mouth out. Yeah. But we need actual accountability in this world. And that's really what boggles my mind is all of these fucking people, all of these fucking countries, they come out and they call for the US and all these developed places to be held accountable for all this shit that they themselves are doing on a trillion times worse scale than we are. Pollution, human rights violations, fucking war profiting. Well, yeah, let's talk about China's war profits for a second, right? There's a lot. China, India, South Africa, lots of places in South America. They all have one huge overarching commonality, if we're going to be honest about this. And that's the fact that they're all socialist pieces of shit, communist pieces of shit, whatever fucking verbiage you want to throw at it to make it pretty in your mind, whatever. They fucking hate people. They hate human beings, and they're trying to systematically eliminate us and replace them with weird-ass genetic hybrids that they can control mentally. And I know that sounds strange, but look at all the fucking evidence. And I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat. Thank you very much. They want to fuck normal humanity out of existence. They just want to get rid of it, just completely. And they'd be like, oh yes, now we have perfect controlled drones. Look at them. Aha. How's the birth rates over there, China? Pretty soon you won't have anybody in your army because they'll all be too fucking old. And you can't recruit the babies because there aren't any. Stupid. You would think people who are as spirited as the Chinese, let's say, would have an easier time understanding that if they kick the ever-living fuck out of their military, they'll be fine. I know that sounds weird, but I know China would use nukes. But the thing is if they did it sooner, wouldn't be a problem, right? They might be fighting the same fight we're fighting right now, which is trying to prevent their shit from leaking over into our shit. Like a toxic waste spill that may or may not exist anywhere within the Chinese wilderness at any given time. Or just saying, And before anyone at any point says anything about xenophobia or blah, blah, blah buzzwords, I just got to throw this out there. Fuck you. heartfelt. Just saying, because the other thing that Talks a Lot stands for is not giving a fuck if you don't like my opinions. Just saying. All right. Keck44 says it's okay for party leaders procure wives for their sons. Yeah. The old fornication under consent of the king act. Yeah, that always works out great. Let's fuck. Xi Jinping needs an heir. Too bad. And then, you could look at other ones that are a little bit more small fry, like North Korea, and, maybe they're not doing so bad, right? Wrong. Shithole. The United States should be an isolationist country in a lot of ways from the rest of the world because they're all a bunch of crazy fuckers. What's the point? Ain't one. Just saying. Yeah. I was almost late to this stream, by the way, because I was working on a new song called The Killing Fields of Time. Yep. We should stop calling it China and start referring to it as North Taiwan. West Taiwan? Yeah. Because I got more bad news for you, China. Taiwan is its own country, despite your bullshit. You're dumb. And on that note, fuck you, Ireland. Yeah. If you guys didn't see the Davos stuff, go check it out. That's all I have to say. I'm not getting into that. I am not getting into that. I saw way too much shit over the last week that makes me go, what the actual fuck is going on? Because you know what bugs me? You know what really bugs me? Every time there's something important going on in the world, they flood us with all this stupid bullshit. And it always happens at the beginning of the year. And have you ever noticed how at the beginning of the year, you wind up with all of the fucking awards shows being shoved down your throat as well? So they're like mucking the waters up. Like, look at these pretty ass people who think they're special. And then, you're like, wow, sparkly boobs. And you're missing like 4 million people getting fucking killed. You're missing all kinds of shit. All right. You're missing a swine or a bird flu outbreak that wiped out an entire fucking colony of baby seals. Then that's going to like wipe out that entire population of seals on that island in the first place. All right. I'm just saying. Seriously. Anyway, Keck44 says Dave Cullen is a hero for his talks about Ireland. No idea who the fuck that is. I don't mean like the name means nothing. Let's do a Google search. Dave Cullen. He does look familiar, doesn't he? Yes, indeed. Columbine, Parkland, and Gay Soldiers. Okay. American journalist and nonfiction writer from Chicago, Illinois, age 62. Urbana-Champaign. Computing forever. Okay. Computing forever. That makes way more sense. If you would have said computing forever, this would have been a much shorter. Yeah. See, computing forever, I know. Dave Cullen doesn't come to mind. I don't. Okay. I have a serious admission to make to you guys. Okay. I'll never remember real names over screen names and channel names. Carrie, K. So, like, Gary is Nerdrotic. Gary is a nickname as far as I'm concerned. Like, that's just how my brain works. The first thing that my brain latches onto is what it holds onto. And usually that's the screen name because it's far more creative than a person's regular name, like Corey. So I like Sir Tox-a-Lot over Corey, but I mean, there's like 400 Sir Tox-a-Lots. And you can't abbreviate Sir Tox-a-Lot to talent like you can Tox-a-Lot Entertainment. Just saying. Check out the Dave Cullen Show. Indeed. Click. I recognize that bastard. Yeah. Recognize that guy. I do. I honestly do. I don't know why that wasn't popping up with Dave Cullen. I don't. Wrong guy. Not computing forever. His name before me is channels. What? Man, you need to go to bed, Keck 44. You tired as fuck. And you breaking my brain. Because let's be honest, kind of stoned right now. I mean, well, I was before the stream started. I'm not so much anymore, but, whatever. My pain management is my business, and I'll talk about it and then ignore what anyone has to say about it after the fact. Indeed. No, get off of there. Gosh. Wrong guy was referring to the search result. Oh. I don't watch a lot of YouTube anymore. Just got to throw that out there. Yep. It's because I got hooked on anime. Instead of watching YouTube at night, now I'm just all like, anime. Yep. Because I like anime. It's very fun. I like it a lot. Yep. Especially like it when they're like, it's great. It's fantastic. I just finished the Entertainment District arc again on Demon Slayer. And I've been watching, I tried watching Blue Exorcist, couldn't get into that one. Dead Man Wonderland is the newest one I've been trying to watch, but it's been keeping me up so late because I want to keep watching it that I have to reserve it for the weekends. So I'm not super far into that one. Only like 9 episodes or whatever. Maybe 5. Because I think I slept through a couple, so I need to go back and watch those. Yeah. Only time I have to watch anime is really late at night, so. And it's my preferred source of entertainment at the moment. Honestly, it is. I just don't have anything meaningful to say about the anime in a way that would make me a great entertainment YouTuber. Nope. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a little over 2 minutes left. I know, I'm going to call it. That's right. I'm going to bounce so I can go shove some food in my face before Thursday night throwdown. And it's going to be fantastic. I think. I can't actually guarantee that. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be 4 to 8 really gay guys and one chick just sitting there talking about stuff. So, apparently, Computing Forever channel was banned by YouTube. Not surprised, because YouTube is a bitch. But anyway, he says, maybe you can join Ironcaster and others on their channel for anime talks. If I had any way to talk to these people, I would, but I'm not great at networking, so yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you on Thursday Night Throwdown in just a little bit. In the meantime, stay sexy, don't get murdered, and as always, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.